So thank you everyone for coming. We're here actually to talk about a momentous ruling by the United States Environmental Protection Agency. And this is the most significant public health victory in this generation. That's how important this new drinking water standard is. PFAS chemicals are a group of synthetic, which means man-made chemicals that are called forever chemicals. That means they don't break down in nature. They build up in the ecosystem and build up in our bodies and in the food web. And they have a wide range of health effects. The most notable ones are kidney cancer, also testicular cancer. Also, they damage the immune system, the reproductive system. They do thyroid damage, very destructive to the liver, and also low birth weight in infants. That's just a few. These chemicals are so toxic that the EPA came out today and said they recommend an exposure limit goal of 0. 0 exposure. And I've been doing this over 3 decades. I have never seen that before. So the good news is that the EPA right now, after years of work and deliberation and advocacy on the part of organizations throughout America, have implemented a drinking water contamination level of 4 parts per trillion for PFOA and PFOS. They also have implemented for another group of chemicals, 3 of them, a drinking water standard of 10. And then they introduced a cumulative standard called a hazard index for some other PFAS chemicals, which means these chemicals, we have found through recent science that when they are together, even though there are small quantities, there is an enhanced impact on damaging your health. It's called a synergistic effect. That means if you have a combination of the chemicals that you're exposed to, the damage will increase because of that effect of the combination. That's why the EPA is now having a cumulative standard requiring drinking water to be filtered when more than one is found. The good news is that New York State, back in 2019 in August, codified a drinking water standard for PFAS at 10. That went into effect in January 2020. The good news for New Yorkers and Long Islanders is now everyone that has been drinking water with less than 10 ppt will now be required to have access to clean, safe drinking water. The EPA has made the standard at 4 ppt because they believe that is the lowest standard that they can require compliance and have an effective program. On Long Island, we drink from groundwater. 3 million people are drinking from the water directly beneath our feet. Right now, many water suppliers have championed putting on filters and are filtering for PFAS chemicals, but not all have had to because they've been under that drinking water standard. We have estimated that this new standard will impact approximately 1 million more Long Islanders who will now have access to filtered drinking water so it is clean and safe from toxic PFAS chemicals. All across New York State, millions of people will be impacted by this one EPA ruling. More good news is that the EPA has $9 billion from the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act that they will be allocating for drinking water filtration systems. And in a first-time move, which we're very excited about for here on Long Island, $1 billion of that $9 billion will be allowed to be used by those who have private wells for testing and filtering of those private wells. Prior to this, there was nothing available to those homeowners. On Long Island, we have about 40,000 private well homeowners, which equates to about 100,000 people. So that's good news for private well owners as well. As we make this change, we have things we want to keep in mind, and that is that we must not let polluters off the hook. The federal government and the taxpayers did not create this problem, but yet we are still paying for this problem. Polluters must be held responsible to foot the bill for this filtration and for this public health crisis. So we encourage the lawsuits that are continuing to wind their way through the court system to continue and hold the polluters and manufacturers